welcome back to Audra Daily English. I am so happy you are here with us today.
Hey everyone, so good to be back. How are you doing today, Sarah?
I am doing really great, thank you. You know what? I was watching a show last week, and halfway through, I realized all the characters were speaking completely differently from the other show I watched the night before. Same language, totally different sound.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean, and I bet a lot of our listeners have felt that exact same thing. You study, you practice, you feel confident, and then suddenly you watch something or you talk to someone and you think, wait, why does this sound so different from what I learned?
Yes, and we get this question all the time in the comments. People ask us, which accent should I learn? Which one is better? Which one is more correct? Which one will help me more in real life?
So today we are going to answer all of that. We are going to talk about the British accent and the American accent, what makes them different, where those differences actually show up, and then we're going to give you our honest answer to the big question. Which one should you focus on when you're learning?
And I want to say right from the start, there is no wrong answer here. This is not a competition. Both are beautiful, both are real, both are used by hundreds of millions of people around the world. We are just going to help you understand them better.
Exactly. And by the end of this episode, you're going to feel much more confident when you switch between different movies, shows, podcasts, and conversations. You'll understand why things sound different, and you'll know how to handle it.
Before we dive in, quick question for our community. Which accent do you find harder to understand? British or American? Drop it in the comments right now. We read every single one and we really want to know.
Yes, please tell us. And if you're enjoying Oudra Daily English, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a new episode. It genuinely helps us keep making content for you. Okay, are you ready?
Let us get into it.
All right, so first, let's just acknowledge something important. When we say British accent and American accent, we're actually talking about something much bigger and more complex than just two accents.
Right, because there is no single British accent. Someone from London sounds different from someone from Manchester. Someone from Scotland sounds different from someone from Wales. Someone from Liverpool sounds nothing like someone from the south of England.
And the same is completely true on the American side. Someone from Texas sounds very different from someone from New York. Someone from California sounds different from someone from Boston. Someone from the South sounds different from someone from the Midwest.
So when people say the British accent or the American accent, they usually mean the standard versions, the ones you hear most on television, in news broadcasts, in podcasts, in education, the clearest, most neutral versions of each.
In Britain, the standard version is often called Received Pronunciation, or RP. Sometimes people call it the BBC accent, because it was the accent used on television and radio for a very long time.
And in America, the standard version is sometimes called General American. It's the accent you hear from most news anchors and presenters. It doesn't have very strong regional features. It's clear, neutral, and widely understood.
So when we talk about differences today, we're mostly talking about these two standard versions, because those are the ones that most learners will encounter first and most often.
Okay, so let's talk about the actual differences. And there are quite a few. We're going to go through the biggest ones so you really understand what is happening when you notice things sounding different.
The first and probably most famous difference is something called the R sound, or what linguists call rhoticity. Big word, simple idea.
So in American, the R is almost always pronounced. Wherever you see an R in a word, you say it. Car, bird, water, doctor, butter. You can hear that R sound clearly every time.
But in British, the R at the end of a word or before a consonant is often not pronounced at all, or it's very soft. So car sounds more like caw, bird sounds more like bird, water sounds more like water, doctor sounds like doctor.
This is one of the first things people notice, that American sounds more R-heavy and British sounds softer in those places.
Here's a fun one to hear the difference. Say the word butter in American. You get butter. That T in the middle often sounds like a quick D sound, butter. In British, you get butter. Very different feel when you say it the British way.
Or the word better. American, better. British, better. Once you start hearing this, you can't stop noticing it everywhere.
Second big difference is the A sound in words like bath, grass, ask, dance, can't, last, path.
In American, these words use a short A sound. Bath, grass, ask, dance, can't. The A sounds like the A in cat or hat.
But in British, these same words use a longer, broader A sound, more like the A in father or calm. Bath, grass, ask, dance, can't. It's a noticeably longer, deeper sound.
This is a really big one, and it's very easy to hear once you know what to listen for. Say the word can't to yourself. American, can't. British, can't. Completely different feel, even though it's the same word.
Fourth, difference in the T sound in the middle of words. We touched on this with butter and better. In American, the T between two vowels often becomes what is called a flap T. It sounds like a quick D sound or a very soft tap.
So water becomes waiter. Little becomes little. Better becomes better. Butter becomes butter. City becomes city. This happens all the time in American, and it's one of the reasons learners sometimes struggle to follow fast American speech.
In British, the T stays much closer to a proper T sound. Water stays water. Better stays better. Little stays little. The T is crisper and cleaner.
Fourth, and this one affects vocabulary, not just pronunciation, is the O sound in words like lot, hot, not, stop, on, off.
In American, this vowel sound is very open and unrounded, like the A in father. So lot sounds a bit like lot. Hot sounds like hot. Not sounds like not. Stop sounds like stop.
In British, this vowel is more rounded and closed. Lot, hot, not, stop. You can almost feel your lips rounding slightly when you say it the British way.
Once you hear this side by side, it's very clear. The word hot in American sounds very open, hot. In British, it sounds more rounded, hot.
Now let's talk about vocabulary differences, because this is just as important as pronunciation. Sometimes British and American use completely different words for the same thing, and this can genuinely confuse people.
Okay, let's go through some of the most common ones. This is really useful to know.
Okay, in Britain, they say lift. In America, they say elevator. Same thing, completely different word.
In Britain, they say flat. In America, they say apartment.
In Britain, they say biscuit. In America, a biscuit is a completely different food, a kind of soft bread. What British people call a biscuit, Americans call a cookie.
In Britain, they say chips for what Americans call French fries, and British crisps are what Americans call chips, so chips and crisps switch meanings completely.
This one confuses everyone. In Britain, they say trousers. In America, they say pants. And what British people call pants is actually underwear in America.
Yes, that one gets people into trouble sometimes. In Britain, they say the boot of a car. In America, that is the trunk.
In Britain, they say the bonnet of a car. In America, that is the hood.
In Britain, they say mobile. In America, they say cell phone.
In Britain, they say rubbish. In America, they say trash or garbage.
In Britain, they say pavement for the path beside a road. In America, that is a sidewalk. And what Americans call pavement means the road surface itself.
In Britain, they say queue when they mean a line of people waiting. In America, they just say line. So stand in the queue means stand in line.
There are, honestly, hundreds of these, and knowing the most common ones really helps when you switch between British and American content.
Now let us talk about spelling differences, because these come up a lot too.
Yes, British spelling often keeps older French-influenced forms. So color, flavor, honor, neighbor. American spelling dropped the U. color, flavor, honor, neighbor.
British uses eyes at the end of many verbs. Organize, recognize, realize. American uses eyes. Organize, recognize, realize. Both are correct, they just look different.
British says center, theater, fiber. American says center, theater, fiber. The RE becomes in American spelling.
British says traveled, canceled, modeled, double L. American says traveled, canceled, modeled, single L.
These spelling differences matter a lot if you're writing professionally or if you're doing exams. You want to be consistent. Pick one and stick with it throughout your writing.
Okay, now let us talk about some grammar differences, because yes, even the grammar has some differences.
One of the most common ones. In British, people often use the present perfect for things that just happened. I have just eaten. Have you seen my keys? She has already left.
In American, the simple past is very commonly used for the same situations. I just ate. Did you see my keys? She already left. Both are understood everywhere, but British tends to prefer the present perfect, and American tends to prefer the simple past for recent events.
Another one. In British, collective nouns like team, government, family are often treated as plural. The team are playing well. The government have announced. In American, these are always singular. The team is playing well. The government has announced.
And one more vocabulary-based grammar difference. In British, people say at the weekend. In American, people say on the weekend. Same idea, different preposition.
British says in hospital when someone is sick and admitted. American says in the hospital with the.
These are small things, but they add up, and they help explain why sometimes you read something and it just feels slightly different, even if you cannot put your finger on why.
Okay, now we get to the big question, the one everyone wants answered. Which accent should you learn? Which one is better for you?
And here's our honest answer. Ready?
Neither is better. Both are correct. Both are real. And the goal is not to perfectly copy either. The goal is to be understood and to understand others.
But we know that's not specific enough, so let's give you some actual guidance based on your situation.
First thing, think about why you're learning it. What do you need it for? Where will you use it most?
If you're planning to live, study, or work in the United States, or if most of the content you consume, movies, shows, podcasts, music, is American, then American makes the most practical sense for you. It's what you'll hear most. It's what you'll use most.
If you're planning to live, study, or work in the UK, Australia, or other countries where British-influenced forms are more common, then British makes more sense for you. Same logic.
If you're learning for international business or travel and you're not going to one specific place, then honestly, either works completely fine. Both are understood globally. A clear, confident American accent and a clear, confident British accent are both respected everywhere in the world.
Second thing to think about. What do you already listen to most? Because your ear naturally develops in the direction of what you expose yourself to. If you've been watching American shows your whole life, you probably already understand American better, and your speaking already leans that way.
And there's real value in going with what you already know best. Building on your existing foundation is faster and more natural than starting from scratch in a completely different direction.
Third thing. Don't try to do both at the same time when you're still learning. This is a really common mistake. People watch British shows one day and American shows the next, and they end up mixing both accents in ways that sound inconsistent.
Pick one. Focus on it. Get comfortable with it. Get confident with it. Once you're at a high level, you can explore the other one, and at that point, your ear will pick it up quickly because you already have a strong foundation.
Now, here's something really important that we want you to hear clearly. Your accent is not your goal. Clarity is your goal. Confidence is your goal. Communication is your goal.
Some of the most respected and successful speakers in the world have accents that are clearly not native British or American. They have their own accent, shaped by their first language, and they are completely understood and completely respected.
An accent is not a mistake. An accent is your voice. It tells a story about who you are and where you come from. Nobody expects you to erase that. Nobody expects you to sound exactly like a native. What matters is that your pronunciation is clear enough to be understood, that your grammar is accurate enough to communicate your ideas, and that your vocabulary is rich enough to express what you really mean.
Now, if you personally love a specific accent and you want to work on it because it brings you joy, because it's fun, because it motivates you, go for it completely. That's a valid and wonderful reason. Motivation is everything in learning.
Just don't think of it as a requirement. Don't stress about it. Don't feel like your accent is wrong. It's not wrong. It's yours.
Okay, let's do a quick fun practice. I'm going to say a word or phrase, and Sarah's going to say it first in a more American style, and then in a more British style, just so you can really hear the difference in a simple, clear way. Let us do it.
First word, water.
American, water. British, water. Hear that? The R disappears and the T softens completely.
Second one, can't.
American, can't. British, can't. The A is so much longer and deeper in British.
Third one, better.
American, better. British, better. The T changes completely and the R disappears at the end.
Fourth one, schedule.
Oh, this is a great one. American, schedule. British, schedule. Completely different. This one surprises people so much.
Fifth one, advertisement.
American, advertisement. Stress on the third part. British, advertisement. Stress on the second part and a completely different middle sound.
Sixth one, garage.
American, garage. British, garage. Again, the stress is in a different place and the ending sounds completely different.
These are so fun, and you will start hearing them everywhere now. Once you know what to listen for, you cannot unhear it.
Okay, let us do the final recap before we go. We covered a lot today, so let us bring it all together.
The British and American varieties are the two most widely studied and taught forms of the language around the world. But remember, there is no single British and no single American. Both have enormous regional variety.
The standard forms you hear most in education, media, and podcasts like ours are what most learners encounter first, and those are the ones we compared today.
The biggest pronunciation differences are the R sound. American pronounces it clearly. British often softens or drops it. The A sound in words like bath and dance, broader and longer in British. The T sound in the middle of words becomes a soft D in American. And the O sound in words like hot and not, more open in American, more rounded in British.
Vocabulary differences are significant and worth learning. Lift and elevator, flat and apartment, chips and french fries, biscuit and cookie, mobile and cell phone, queue and line. These are the ones that come up most.
Spelling differences. Color versus color. Organize versus organize. Center versus center. Traveled versus traveled. Pick one and stay consistent.
Grammar differences. British prefers present perfect for recent events. American prefers simple past. British treats collective nouns as plural. American treats them as singular.
And for the big question, which one to learn? Think about your purpose. Think about your exposure. Think about what motivates you. Pick one. Stay consistent. And remember that your goal is not a perfect accent. Your goal is clear, confident communication.
Here is your challenge for today. Go to any movie, show, or podcast you love. Listen for just 5 minutes, and every time you notice a pronunciation that sounds different from what you expected, write it in the comments. What was the word? How did it sound? We want to see what you are noticing.
And if this episode helped you, please give it a like. Share it with someone who always asks which accent they should learn. It will help them more than you know.
Subscribe to Oudra Daily English for new episodes every week. We make every single one for you, for your progress, for your confidence, for your voice.
Learning this language is a journey that belongs completely to you, your pace, your accent, your goals. And we're just here to walk alongside you every step of the way.
We believe in every one of you. Keep going.
Until next time, take care, everyone.
See you next time.